Valheim, an incredible survival game where you can build Viking villages, sail to the ends of the world, and fight epic enemies. A game with near infinite possibilities and so much to do. But there are a lot of zones to explore in the game, a lot of different resources you need, and you're not entirely sure where to get any of it. This is Biome Breakdown. The first biome is the Meadows. The Meadows is a fairly peaceful, remote biome which focuses on the easy collection of some basic resources such as wood and stone, as well as the location where you will work on your starter home and eventually begin to build a base. When in the Meadows, one of the primary resources are types of wood. From small trees, as well as from beech trees, you will be able to farm the standard version of wood. This is used for most early game wood buildings, as well as many early game recipes. Once you have attained an axe of either bronze quality or higher, you will be able to begin to chop down birch trees and oak trees to collect a resource called fine wood. Now, fine wood is used for many of the more advanced buildings and weapons in the game. Fine wood opens up your ability to make Viking ships, as well as portals to teleport back and forth. Throughout the Meadows, you will find items on the ground, which will allow you to build up your base. Stone is used in several recipes, such as creating cooking fires. Mushrooms are great resources to eat, or later on combined into more potent recipes. Dandelions will be used in cauldrons later in the game. And of course, don't forget about raspberries. One of the major aspects of the Meadows biome is the hunting aspect. You will find 4 different animal types which you can kill in order to gather resources that are relevant. First is the boar. The boar, when killed, will supply you with leather scraps as well as raw meat. Raw meat can be cooked into an edible food, which will grant you stamina regeneration, health, and total stamina. Leather scraps are used to make some basic gear, such as the rag tunic and the rag pants. They will also be used in several recipes throughout the rest of the game. Deer will provide you with deer hides as well as raw meat. Deer hide is needed to make the next level armor, leather armor. Deer can be fairly difficult to hunt. There are 2 methods in which you can do this. One, you can stealth up closely to a deer from behind, and if you get lucky, you'll be able to get a melee swing off killing the deer. The alternative strategy is to obtain a bow and try to kill the deer before they register that you're there and run away. Shh, be very, very quiet. And got him. You will also see birds that are flying around the biome. Now these birds will run away if you get close, so you will need to take them out using ranged. You gotta be a little quick too, otherwise they kind of just leave you. But the good news is, if they do ditch, they occasionally have to land. There you go. And they've splattered into feathers. These feathers will be used in most arrow recipes from here on out. By the waterways, you will also see necks. Necks are typically in small packs from 3 to 5. Sometimes, oh, okay, just kidding. Sometimes they're in packs of 6. And these necks, when killed, will drop necktails. Necktails are going to be one of these stronger early game foods that you can find and have to be cooked just like cooked meat. Throughout the Meadows biome, you will find abandoned homes. Inside of these homes, you'll be able to find chests containing valuables, or if you hit the jackpot, you'll find a beehive. When you destroy a beehive, you'll obtain an item called a queen bee. This queen bee will allow you to build your own beehive inside of your base. That beehive will slowly and consistently produce honey, a valuable consumable which can either be eaten to provide you health, stamina, and healing per second, or it can be used to create meads, powerful potions that you will need later in the game. Beware, however, if you see a much larger encampment of abandoned houses, it is very likely a Draugr encampment. Draugrs are enemies from the swamp, and they will be very tough to fight at the start of your game. So if you see a full city-looking area of these homes that are a little bit larger, you may want to stay away from that for the time being, and if you do go in, be prepared with strong weapons, armor, and food. After all of that adventuring, I think I will now place a beehive right next to my base, and it will begin to slowly start spawning honey for me. Finding the coast or a river in your Meadows biome is important because it holds resources that are specific to this biome. For example, flint will only spawn on the coastline. Flint is important because it'll help you make a lot of your early game weapons, as well as being used in upgrade stations and to make a stronger version of the wooden arrow. After you advance some through the game and find the merchant in the Black Forest, you will be able to come back to the meadows and go to the coastline to fish. Fishing is recommended to be done in the Meadows biome because the Meadows biome is the least dangerous and you are the least likely to experience interruption while doing an activity such as fishing. You do not want to be bothered by any enemies. The primary enemies that you will find inside of the meadows will be the Greylings, at least at the start of the game. As you progress the game, more difficult enemies will come in, such as more advanced Black Forest biome enemies. For now, all you have to deal with is these little guys, and they will drop you resin, an important resource that will help you light torches and other types of fires, as well as several other major crafting recipes such as boats. When you feel you are adequately prepared to fight the final boss of the Meadows biome, Eikthyr, you can go to the Vegvisir to register his location. Now, Eikthyr is one that is given to you for free. So if you go to your starting Stonehenge and your starting spawn point, you can press E on this and it will instantly show you Eikthyr's spawn location. Now when you go there with 2 deer trophies and offer them, you'll be able to summon the first boss, Eikthyr. And here we are at Eikthyr's spawn location. So we're going to go ahead, take those deer trophies, and we're going to put them into one of our slots. Look right here, press the corresponding slot. Mine is 1. Sacrifice has been made, and Eikthyr will now be spawned, and we'll get to fight the first boss of the Meadows. After you finally slay this completely undertuned boss that you should be able to take down with fair ease so long as you came prepared, you'll be given 2 items. First, you will be given the Eikthyr trophy, and second, you will be given a hard antler. Both of these are very important to the progression of the game. The hard antler that you got off Eikthyr is going to allow you to build your first pickaxe, the antler pickaxe. This item is absolutely crucial as it is necessary for your progression through the Black Forest and subsequently the rest of the game. This will allow you to mine ore, which will eventually be used to create better items and create the next level of pickaxe in the Black Forest. Each boss has their own progression related item, forcing you to kill the boss of the biome you're on now in order to successfully advance through the next biome. Once you have acquired a pickaxe in the game, you will notice that there are these weird areas that appear to be a long shape but are surrounded by stones. These areas indicate that there is buried treasure underneath. As you can see here, we just found skeletal remains. That indicates that we're close to the treasure and we need to keep digging. These skeletal remains are used to upgrade a lot of your leather gear and will be an important material as you continue throughout the game. As you can see, as we continue to dig, we eventually found a treasure chest. These chests will typically contain arrows as well as valuables. These valuables will do nothing for you at the moment, but later on in the game, you'll be able to sell them as well as use any coins you found on a merchant character. The trophy given to you from Eikthyr could be mounted on a wall later in the game, but for your first of each boss trophies, what you should do with them is you should take them to the spawn point, these Stonehenges at the beginning of the game, and place them on their corresponding trophy hook. This will allow you to interact with this trophy hook in order to gain their power permanently. In the current game, there are up to 5 powers. You can have any one active at the time. Now these powers can be used to give you a buff for 5 minutes, and the cooldown is 20 minutes. So for Eikthyr, when you commune with his trophy, you will gain a buff that will increase your running speed and decrease the amount of stamina that you use while running. This is an AoE effect, so if you are playing with teammates, make sure that you hit them with the AoE shout as well. And this is what it looks like. Press your F key. And now, I'm significantly faster, and I'm burning less stamina when I run. This is very crucial for moving items from base to base, especially ores, and not being slowed down. Alright, that's going to wrap up today's episode. I hope this helped you guys and gave you a better idea of what resources the Meadows have and where to get them. Be sure to tune in. Tomorrow's episode is going to be focusing on the Black Forest biome, and each day this week I will be going into the subsequent biome until I get to Plains. And after I'm done with Plains, I will be covering the sort of side biomes, the ocean mini biome, as well as the 3 incomplete biomes, and some speculation of what those may turn into. So, see you guys tomorrow. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Wow, you watched all the way to the end. You madman. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I know normally this is where people say don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring those bells, but I'm going to try using the reverse psychology approach. Don't like, don't subscribe, don't ring that bell. And whatever you do, do not go to Twitch and look up Captain Rob Games.